In this video, we give an overview of all new features in the HaloCline 2021-1 release. In assembly, multiple CAD data can now be loaded into VR at the same time. For example, I'm now able to import my product and my tool to perform accessibility tests with tools in VR. We will supply you with an angled screwdriver as an example tool. As in layout and performance, the viewer camera can now be selected in assembly. Viewers who follow the VR user on a different screen thus benefit from a stabilized camera image. Various interactions in the application now also have audio feedback. In addition, a controller overview can be displayed in the lower right corner of the screen. This allows viewers to track which buttons the VR user presses, either live or in a recorded video. The units setting is now taken into account for exports to layout. Files that do not have units of measurement, such as the OBJ file format, can thus be resized to the correct scale. For users of the beta features, we have significantly improved the real-time collision feature. A visual representation of collision points, the ability to grab parts with two hands, and several other improvements make it possible to test use cases like installation of parts and accessibility tests with tools. Two videos with application examples are linked in the video description below.
In layout, you see the first version of the Notepad with this release. This gives you the possibility to display image files in VR. Place the files in the Documents folder under HaloCline Notes. This way you have information like measurements, photos or lists you need for your planning always in sight without having to put down the headset. This feature is also available in HaloCline Performance. The glass boxes of your imported CAD objects used for collision are now only displayed in case of interaction. You will also find the option to turn collision on and off completely in our reorganized settings window. This allows you to rebuild objects as well as walk inside larger imported installations. There are now new controls for the Adjust tool in VR. Here you can switch between working on the object and adjusting it remotely without opening the main menu. You will also find the option to switch between local and world coordinate systems. This simplifies working with rotated elements, such as shelves. Something didn't work out the way you wanted it to? With the new position of the undo and redo functionality, you can correct it faster. In addition to boxes, you can now also change the color of load carriers in VR. You can use this to map existing standards for color coding, to mark changes, or to make frequently used parts visible. To organize your planning into work areas, you can now move selected objects in VR to other areas or variants. This allows easier splitting. You can now also switch to other work areas and variants in VR via the loading window. In the start screen, you can now move and rotate your variants with their content via Adjust Outline and thus locate them in your shop floor. If you want to move the boundary independently of the content, you can interact with the lines directly. The spectator mode now filters out even more movements of the VR user. This results in a more stable image, which is more pleasant for viewers and well suited for video recordings. An additional mode allows viewing from a self-selected perspective, where the VR user always remains in the center. Thus, the surroundings and actions are always well in view without having to readjust. The free camera is now visualized in VR and enables better communication between VR and desktop user. Imported 2D templates are now saved across sessions. One template can be used per shop floor. You can change the orientation of your shop floor using the camera controls at the bottom right. The top view can be rotated in 90-degree steps. You can make this adjustment in the 2D configurator as well as in the VR view. Using the library panel on the start screen, you can now more easily export your entire library or select individual items to share with other HaloClient layout users.
It is possible to load other variants and performance and switch the workspace directly in VR. Due to the fast and easy change, variants can be compared even better. The settings window can now also be opened from performance. Here you will find already known settings from HaloClient layout and more specific functions, such as adjusting the clearance width. In order to take the workplace regulations into account during planning, as of this release, you can adjust the value of the minimum clearance width in the settings window and, if needed, have it permanently displayed. Have fun trying out the new features. You can find more information on our website and our help desk.